got out by telling. I think that was smart, Gunna. I'm a Gunna fan now. I'm a goddamn Gunna fan now, boy. That's all y'all finna hear my motherfucking CD is Gunna, 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 Gunna. Whenever you stand up in court, homie, and it's more than one of y'all, and you say, I am in the game, homie, that's confessing, that's telling. People say, it's not against the law to be in a gang. It is against the law to be a part of a criminal organization.
What's good, Rizzle fam? Looks like Charleston White finally spoke out on the YSL boys. If you ask him, Gunna ain't nothing but a snitch. Charleston White has been talking about the YSL boys and the RICO charges that came their way ever since day one. He's always tuned into the latest news, and he's been talking about Gunna and Thugger for a minute. If you ask him, Gunna's a certified snitch. There's no way anyone can change his mind. Let's see why that's the case, and what his take is on the matter. Pushing P or pushing plea? That's the question when Gunna got out the jail. He was released and people started wondering just how in the world he managed to get out like that. Well, it turns out that Gunna took a plea deal and he's basically still serving his sentence, but outside of prison. He's agreed to certain conditions that the judge came up with, and he'll have to oblige to every single one of those. Otherwise, Gunna might be going back in no time, just like all the other YSL members that got out on parole, like Thugger's brother on Funk. However, Gunna's case is slightly different. See, there's a video from the courtroom on the day of Gunna's hearing. He made an official statement that day in front of everyone. The prosecutor asked Gunna questions, and he answered. He confirmed all the major suspicions that the prosecutor's side had. He confirmed that YSL is in fact a criminal gang, not just a record label. Gunna confirmed that he witnessed YSL members commit crimes, that he also said that the drugs and the gun that was found in the car on the day that he got arrested weren't his. Being that the only person who was in the car was Young Thug, that basically means he ratted his homie out. There's no way around the fact that what Gunna said is going to cost at least Young Thug, if not other YSL members too, a lot once their trial starts. We can't confirm with 100% certainty that Gunna made their cases worse until the trial starts, but people online feel a different type of way. Gunna himself tried desperately to make a point and defend his stance. He said to the press that, while I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. But that means very little to the people who saw the video of him in court and those who know a little more about the whole judicial system and how it works. One such person is Charleston White. If anyone has experience with courts, prisons, and snitches, well, that's gonna be old Charleston White. He's been in and out of jail and correctional offices ever since he was a young man. On the same day that Charleston found out that Gunna got released with a plea deal, Charleston hopped online and started making fun of Gunna. He released a video where he said,
Now, I'm glad he got out by telling. I think that was smart, Gunna. I'm a Gunna fan now. I'm a goddamn Gunna fan now, boy. That's all y'all finna hear my motherfucking CD is Gunna, 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 Gunna. I'm gonna tell.
Charleston later came up with a freestyle during one of his Instagram live sessions. He rapped saying,
I'm the type that's gonna tell. I heard they just let Gunna out of jail. I'm gonna tell. I'm the type that's gonna tell it. Gonna tell.
One of his followers left a comment saying, I'm gonna tell. They have a field day at that expense of Gunna. But that was only the beginning for Charleston White. Talked more and more about Gunna and the deal that he took in later on. Recently, he did another interview where he explained why Gunna is a snitch, and he also shared some of his personal history with snitching. When a guy asked Charleston if Gunna is a snitch, he replied,
Is Gunna a snitch?
You goddamn right you heard when that judge say, Gunna, you in the game? You in the game? He said, yes, Your Honor.
Later in that same interview, he said,
whenever you stand up in court, homie, and it's more than one of y'all, and you say, I am in the game, homie, that's confessing, that's telling. People say it's not against the law to be in a gang. It is against the law to be a part of a criminal organization.
The reason why Charleston mentioned the fact that it's against the law to be a part of a criminal organization is because Gunna, as well as the other YSL members who got out on plea, insisted on multiple occasions that they didn't do anything wrong by saying they're in a gang. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with having a gang if you consider your gang to be a group of your homies with whom you make music with. But Gunna appeared in front of a court and literally admitted that he saw these people commit crimes. That's not the same thing. As Charleston himself later explained, people lost their lives in the name of YSL. There's evidence pointing to the fact fact that it happened. So how in the world is Gunna not a snitch? A viewer online reminded us of something that not only Charleston, but Tekashi 6ix9ine also talked about in the past. He wrote, 6ix9ine told y'all years ago, these hard-ass gangs want to put in the situation, they would fold too. Now look, everybody real quiet now. This culture's a joke. Charleston pointed straight to the fact that a lot of people disregard it in cases such as this one. Mainly, there's no honor amongst thieves. Everyone just wants to get out and they don't really care about the other dudes. They just want to walk about and get their life in check. He also reminded us that throughout the history of all the RICO cases that we've seen, there have only been one in which nobody told on each other. That was the case of the Waco bikers that managed to keep their mouths shut and the mistrial was pronounced. Even though they had way more people in that RICO case, Charleston still believes that YSL boys just don't have what it takes to duck a case like this. They just can't keep their mouths shut. Gunna saying that YSL is a criminal gang just took out the biggest defense strategy that the lawyers defending Thug and others could use. If any one of their lawyers even mentions that YSL is just a record label and not a gang, they can use Gunna's testimony in order to refute him. Charleston White is far from being the only person who was disgraced by Gunna's statement. He made a big mistake and most of the hip-hop community believes that it was a huge L for the YSL boys. Tech spoke about Gunna taking his plea deal and he said that Gunna was a rat even before this whole thing went left. In an interview that he did not too long ago, Tech explained the situation saying,
I posted a video years back and I've been saying like, man, dude a rat.
Who, Gunna?
Yeah, I said that like 3 years ago.
Wait, okay, hold on.
So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Well, hold on. 3 years ago, you're referring to the
Crime Stop.
Crime Stop.
Yeah, I was sent there from my people from Atlanta. Dude a rat.
The G-Unit legend Tony Yayo claimed that Gunna shouldn't have taken the plea so early. He believes that the smart thing to do was just staying in jail for a little bit longer.
For me, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I would have wanted to stay in jail a little longer.
You would have wanted him to stay in jail a little longer?
Me, myself.
And why is that?
Because I wouldn't want that video, like, that video is crazy. I'd rather sit in jail. You only do it a year. I would have wanted a better first day out than that.
Most people agree with Tony. Gunna's gonna have a very difficult time getting back into his music career after he got slammed by the entire community for being a snitch. If he waited out the whole situation, took the plea deal later on, or even did his time, man, he could have gone out and gone back to where he was, like, immediately. But Gunna just didn't have the patience, and he wanted out. But who knows what his career is gonna look like now? Perhaps it won't affect it, maybe it will. We'll see, though. The real question right now is, what's gonna happen when Thugger? We don't know if Gunna's statement is gonna be used against him in the trial. But what y'all think about Charleston White's comment on Gunna? Let us know what you think about this situation in the comment section below. Click that like and subscribe